Hey guys, you probably have all seen the last video. If you haven't, I'm going to attach it to the end of this one. It's called something like, he enters the lair of Bigfoot and is told loud and clear he is not welcome. I've struggled for days to do a follow-up video to that, and the reason why, and I know most of you watching this have already seen that video. That's one of those videos that simply can't be followed. I mean, that would be like going on stage after Elvis Presley just played, or you get the point. Because you saw what we captured on film. Some believe in multiple locations, but others, many others, upwards of 30,000 people agree was somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. I can't remember exactly where it was, but I go to work on Monday morning, and I work with a guy who's an avid hiker, an avid outdoorsman, a veteran. He was in the Navy, so I really appreciate this guy's views. He just turned 59, and so he's a little older. He's wise. So he comes up to me and he says, "Now what?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean, now what?" Because also he's a very avid believer in Bigfoot Sasquatch. This guy's been hiking for almost 6 decades. I mean, when he gets a day off from work, he goes out and hikes 10 miles in the Blue Ridge Mountains now, and he's been all over the country doing it. And I said, "What do you mean, now what?" And he says, "Well, I saw your last video, and I saw that mysterious dark figure that walked between 2 trees at some point between 15 and 20 minutes, and it's almost as if you'll remember that video, and you can go watch it after this one if you've not seen it. I'm panning around at one point in the video to show you how beautiful the leaves are. This time of year, it's late October in central Virginia here in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Yesterday, my beautiful bride, Dearly, aka Giggly Girl, myself and our son, drove across the Blue Ridge Parkway up in the Shenandoah National Forest. Just spent all afternoon up there, stopping at all the overlooks, looking into the Shenandoah Valley, looking back over to our side of the valley over here towards the Charlottesville side. Absolutely gorgeous. There's one place up there where you can almost see our house. You can see some of the fields across the road. So anyway, he says, "I saw that figure. I'm pretty sure I know what you caught on camera, so now what?" Because, you know, you've been out there for a year, ever since he, she, it, or they started visiting your property, you know, trying to prove its existence. And I said, "Well, number one, we'll get to your now what here in a minute, but number one, I've never tried to prove anything to anybody. I've never claimed to have a Bigfoot Sasquatch on my property. I've always used the word potentially, okay? I've come out here in the woods, and at times I've done some goofy things, you know, all to draw the curiosity of what may or may not be out here viewing me, trying to lure them in closer. And it appears as if in that last video we lured them in very close. I had trail cams out facing in every direction except behind me. Of course, you guys are always getting my 6, as you are right now, looking for movement back there. And here's why I think we captured what we captured on film. When I do this, I'm supposed to be looking out there at my 12 o'clock and seeing if I see anything, but I always get caught up in watching my 6-2 back here, and so he, she, it, or they, I really believe, knows I'm not really paying any attention up there. So when I stood up and started that pan, that 360-degree pan, I don't think they were ready, or he, her, or it. And so they started trying to hide, and we caught him just at that very last moment. Potentially, this is what happened. It could have been a shadow. That's why, you know, it's overcast today. There's no direct sunlight coming down here, so I don't anticipate any shadows today if we do see anything. So anyway, I said to him, I never try to prove anything to anybody. I just go out there and see what we can see. You know, but he says, "Okay, but now what? You got something on film. Isn't this the end?" And I thought about it, and I said, you know, really, it's just the beginning. Because we know potentially something has visited our place. And this is my train of thought. And that's why today I'm going to do here on camera something that a lot of researchers might suggest could be dangerous. Okay, I feel as if we've been visited on our property. In that last video, I went deep into these woods and I visited what I believe is their property. Anytime they visited my property, I've never harmed them. I could, but I've chosen not to because I see no point in that. People have commented, oh, you should, dispatch it and then have the body for proof and you'd be rich, you'd be a millionaire and blah, blah, blah. I would never, ever do such a thing. I couldn't imagine doing such a thing. Such a beautiful creature. So, we fish all the time. We catch and release. This weekend, I was craving catfish. 2 weeks ago, Dearly and our son and myself, we went fishing on the Rivanna Reservoir and Dearly caught a catfish this long. It was really big. It was, 20 inches, fat. You know what we did? We turned it loose because if they're in the water, they can reproduce and have more babies for us to catch in years to come. So I was craving catfish. We've got catfish in our pond, one as long as my leg. I went to the grocery store and paid a lot of money for a bunch of catfish fillets. Came home and I made lemon pepper catfish sauteed, and it was delicious. My point is, I would never harm him, her, it, or they, or any other creature on our property. We don't even hunt the deer, and we don't let others do it either. I'm gifting this jack-o'-lantern. As of this recording, we're just a couple of days away from Halloween. I'm gifting the jack-o'-lantern, and I'm also, because we're at the gifting tree right now, I'm also gifting the seeds. We love to fry these in butter and put way too much salt on them, but we're gifting them. So I told my friend at work, I'm going to walk and talk, because I'm going to tell you what we're getting ready to do down here. This is not the end, because we may or may not have captured, the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch on camera. That could have been, a lot of people, I was talking that day about energy. What happens if we're filled with negative energy, anger, bitterness, hatred, envy? But what happens if through a process no short of a miracle, we release all this stuff and we become content, happy, spiritually free? Where does that energy go? And a lot of folks have mentioned that this is what creates poltergeists. And so I started researching that over the weekend and found that to be kind of interestingly true. It could have been a poltergeist. I don't know. I'm not claiming it was or wasn't anything, but guys, before I even started recording this video, I sat up here for almost an hour thinking about, should I really do this? But I'm going to do it. Okay, as I told my friend, and he said he likes the Bigfoot Sasquatch blind idea where I watch their territory and then push it over to let them know I've been watching that. That's what it is here behind me. Guys, I'm removing this. I'm going to stack this up here at our campground in our wood pile. This is going to be for campfires, okay? I put this here as a border, as a way to say, you stay on your side, I'll stay on mine. Okay, a lot of folks have pointed out these X's back here. Like here's one. He, she, it, or they place those. That's not my doing right there. But my doing today will be to remove those. It could be dangerous. Okay, but I'm sending a message, and there was another X right up here somewhere. There it is. I don't know if you can see that, but my message is, you've come here, I've never hurt you. I've gone to your area, you've never hurt me. And guys, I'm going to do one of those 360s and see if we capture anything right now, just like we did last time. It's my lawn tractor, getting ready to haul this wood out of here. There's my homestead. Isn't it beautiful this time of year, late October? Check out that buck rub right here on this locust tree. So, watch tree lines. And I'm going to remove those X's. And my message I'm sending to him, her, it, or they is that they're welcome here. I've never hurt them on my place, and when I was deep in their territory last week, they didn't hurt me. And you'll remember, I couldn't find, oh, yeah, I got my tripod. This is my tripod, getting ready to set this camera up on a log. Sorry, I got dizzy for a second. Must have been from spinning around like that. But what was so eerie about that video, when I went back and watched it, when everybody started putting the timestamp about where they believe they saw that dark figure duck between two trees, the very next scene was the scene where I was frantically looking for my trail cam that I never found. And I realized when I saw that one of those 2 trees is the trees I hung that trail cam from. It was about 60 yards away from where I was recording on that rock. So if he, she, it, or they could have sneaked that close to me to take a camera, they could have sneaked even closer and took me, but they didn't. So, my friend from work, this is not the end. This is merely the beginning. And now, I'm going to tear down these walls. Make sure to get my 6. We have no room for X's here, Bigfoot Sasquatch. My land is your land, from tree line to shining tree line. We're gonna get rid of this next. Oh, it's the infamous riding lawnmower of videos past. Why did he turn it off when he loaded it, but why not when he unloaded it? It's so you can hear what's close by me. Potentially. I didn't have to shut the engine off when I was unloading a quarter of a mile away from where I got the wood, because you couldn't see or hear me when I was down there. And no, I could not sprint back up the hill that fast. What do you think I am? A track star? So guys, I've sent the message with the new structuring of my property here. At least I kind of have the feeling we were being watched the whole time. I hope so, because we know for certain that he, she, it, or they has received our message loud and clear. They are welcome. And I hope I'm not putting myself in any sort of danger by making myself I think our properties just became one.